Heyo, it's me, Harper Savage, and today is day 3 of 12 days of arts and coffees. That's where I do an art or craft and cozy up with some coffee. Now this year we are picking our coffee flavor blindly. Here's the coffee, and let's get the flavors. Here's the box, let's mix it up and pick a syrup. Alright, we got a slightly golden one this time. Open it up. Oh, this one actually came with like a little tab this time to peel up the thingy. Not that it's helping. Alright, let's give it a whiff. Oh man, is that hazelnut? Like, it's a really strong, like, sweet but syrupy, earthy, but not earthy. I think this is hazelnut. Alright, ugh. Hazelnut is, like, my least favorite of the generic flavors. Let's dump it in. Oh, I dumped in a lot. What was I thinking? Mix it up. Alright, let's give it a taste. Yeah, that's hazelnut. It's strange how the one I don't like has the most flavor to it so far. The last project we did was winter ornament. Today's project is wax-resistant watercolor. Visions of sugar plum or partridge in a pear tree. You may make any design on this mixed media paper. Start with your wax crayon and draw out whatever design your heart desires. Blah, 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 blah. Transform this into one. Okay, whatever. You know that Easter egg thing that you do with the wax crayon? It's essentially that. So these are the things that came for Project 3. Reminder, I can use all previous supplies if I desire. I'm also gonna maybe bend the rules here in a little bit and use my own paper because I know this is not gonna do much for me. This is glorified printer paper. It's a little bit thicker, but they're calling it mixed media. It just seems like slightly smoother printer paper. But I am going to use these to swatch out the colors we have and look at the tools. So let's do that first. First thing I want to do is drown these watercolors. Also, I realize there's red marks on my fingers. You don't have to tell me. I decided to open up a marker right before I started recording and it did not come off. So, alright, so while that's soaking up some water there, I'm going to go ahead and test out these other supplies I have no idea about. I would say the small side is very smooth and this side is not very flexible. Alright, the gel pen. Oh, God, I didn't open it for a second there. Yep, nice and silver and pearlescent or glitter, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so here's the gimmick of this project, and it's covered in fur because I have a cat, is we draw with this, but the catch is I can't see it good. So, I don't know how that's gonna work. So, it's not super good with the pearlescent color, it seems. Also, I want to see how the back of the paper looks. So, this is gonna, like, seep through the watercolor. I'm shocked that the marker didn't seep through at all, but yeah, so I'm gonna say this paper is probably not my ideal choice for this project. So I'm gonna use my own paper. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of just like a paper snob. I don't want to use crappy paper and like ruin the whole project. I'm okay with using like mediocre art supplies, but when it comes to paper, absolutely not. I just want to show you guys something we got last year. We got this watercolor pad. So they're capable of giving us nice paper, because I really like the watercolor paper in here. And it's 140 pounds. Like, this needs probably mixed media because of the crayon thing, but they could have given us something better than cut up paper from the printer, you know? Alright, let me go ahead and swatch these colors. The blue has already stained the tip of the aqua watercolor thingy, whatever they're called. And there's some bristles already coming out of it too. Probably see it better on the white paper. Right there. That's cool. Oh my god. Anyways, here's the green. Do the red next. So you can see the paper started to tear when I added more water. I think the blue and the gold are kind of like too transparent for me. I wish they would have had more pigment behind their glitter. I do think the colors, like the regular colors, are pretty like rich, but this paper is absolute garbage. So yeah, we're not going to be using that. So I'm going to use my Canson mixed media paper. I really like Canson paper. So I got to figure out what is inspiring about these colors that I have to create something. Took me a while, but I think I have an idea now. Can you tell what it is yet? I'm taking some inspires from a video game. If you know what it is. Tell me in the comments. I feel like this is a dead giveaway now. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and ink. If you're curious, the cap does actually fit into the other cap. So you don't have to sit here and hold it like I was for the first 10 minutes. Just gonna lighten my sketch a little bit here. So as you can see, the liner that is provided for this watercolor project is not waterproof. I have to make the choice of if I'm redoing the sketch and doing this in a different way or continuing on. So I decided that struggling through that was not worth it for me, so I'm going to do another sketch real quick. Alright, so here's the sketch again. I zoomed in a little bit here. I'm going to see if our liner can go over the wax crayon. It kind of goes over it. I also have a feeling it's gonna smudge. Yeah, this is exactly what it did. I have another test I want to do. I'm gonna see if it'll go over the gel pen. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna be a little bit weird today with the process. And with my little test that I just did, I found out that the watercolor will smudge the gel pen, but only the glitter part. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the outlines with the gel pen and go over certain parts with the liner once I've painted everything. So let's get to inking with our sparkly warklies. So you can barely see what happened here, but I decided to not do some of the details. I'll save that for like final outlines. I'm going to wait for this to dry for a significant amount of time because I think this will smudge if I try to erase it right now. Okay, so I went ahead and erased the pencil lines. I'm going to go in and do some crayon stuff now. I sharpened it in my awesome electric crayon sharpener. Guys, if you didn't get this at Target, you're missing out. It really works. Alright, let's start painting and try not to cry this time. I think I'm going to add a little bit more wax around the wings too, just so it looks like they got like a cool outline thing happening. How did the water get discolored like that? I'm tired of using this anyways, it's not very good, so I'm going to go back to regular paintbrushes. Alright, my coffee's all gone. Time for the reveal. Let me show it to you outside of the glare here. So I do like how it turned out. I wish I had more colors though. Like the gold and the blue are kind of too transparent to really be a color. That's why I use the blue to kind of be white reflective, and the gold I overlaid. I did mix it into the green just so it would like go together better, but as you can see, it's like pretty transparent. So really what we had to work with here was red and green, blue glitter and gold glitter. And to be honest, I feel like they don't go together well, but I did try to make it work the best that I could. I do feel like the fairies being like that pink reddish color is out of place, but I wanted to use all the colors. So the next thing I want to talk about is this like liner brush pen thing. It's not waterproof, and typically when you're working with watercolor, you're going to want to use waterproof stuff, whether you line before or after the watercolor, just so it doesn't smudge everywhere, which is what we experienced with the first drawing. So I don't know why this was a part of this project. Also, this did not work well. It did leak, and for some reason, when I like pushed some water out, it sucked some of the pigment on the brush up into it, so it like tainted the water. I haven't had that happen with other water compartment type of brush pens, but I don't know if it is a common problem or not. The bristles came out of it. I had like several bristles fall out. And also the star of the show here was the wax crayon. It did not consistently work. We have some of the outlines around the fairies did work, and then I covered up where it kind of failed with the diamonds with the gold acrylic from the last project. I was trying to layer the background so that it kind of looked like there was grass there, so I went in and I scribbled a bunch of like wax everywhere for it to not show up at all when I put another layer down of watercolor. So that was disappointing. I'm not saying it had to work perfectly, but I'm saying I wanted it to be consistent. So my final thoughts and opinions are, I didn't like the project being the wax crayon thing, but I do like the watercolors. But that is going to be it for me today. If you guys want to watch another 12 Days of Arts and Coffee, so you can go ahead and tap the thumbnail here. If you want to catch up on anything you missed, you can go ahead and tap the thumbnail here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to do all the cool YouTube things of comment, liking, subscribing, and turning on that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!